Hello, everybody, and welcome to the official ARGO number 3 AMA. We are here for the community to answer the intricate questions you have regarding the ARGO project. I am here with Jay Shin and Wan Biam Kim. How are you two today? How is everything?
We are very good. We are feeling the new year vibe here, and I'm glad that we are having this AMA again.
Absolutely.
And hi, sorry it's been a while. I think we've been having our heads down working on the project, so it's been a while, and hopefully we can do this a lot more often. I know I keep saying that, but I think with Corey being in charge of these AMAs, he'll make sure that we get these done on a regular basis.
Oh, absolutely. We'll easily be able to do 1 or 2 a month. All it takes is just asking the community the questions, writing down the document. And yeah, I can guarantee we're going to be able to do this at least once or twice a month. We have another AMA in a couple of weeks as well. I have the questions already. So that's something that we can do for more transparent purposes for the community. So I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to help in the way that I can. So let's get started. So let me ask you the first question that the community has. When will we get an updated roadmap?
So we are working on the roadmap at the moment, since we have a number of stuff that is new in the pipeline, including the whole DeFi angle, as well as our venture into the US market. So you'll be able to get hold of the new roadmap within a few weeks.
Awesome. I like how you brought up the getting into the United States. That's very good news. I like the expansion.
Right, yeah, there. I was just there, so I think people know that I've been working on it, and so legally and entity is already set. We're just working on various other things that we'll probably reveal later on. But yes, I was there for 2 months getting things done.
Yeah, you travel all the time. It's baffling to me, someone who doesn't travel. So good. That's really amazing to hear. So on the topic of expansion, is the Blocko IPO still planned?
As our venture funded company, Blocko is still working on it. It's still too early to publish or share any specific information, but it's something that we are hopeful about, and we are working hard on it.
Yeah, awesome. Recently we had a I want to say auditing body, but there's a body from the stock exchange that actually puts a rating on companies on the potential of getting an IPO, and we were just rated given a grade of A. So that's awesome. Yeah, so I think that gives us hope that the market sees us as a potential IPO candidate as well. So
that's great news. That's awesome, especially as someone who, as an entity that works directly with AERGO. That's really great. So this is an important question as well that the community asked, that I was wondering as well. So can we talk a little bit more about the Blocko IPO, and is there a reason why Blocko is not using the AERGO name on the Twitter?
Well, Blocko is a company of its own, Blocko, right? Blocko has its own Twitter account. AERGO, we're focused on everything that's AERGO related. We don't want to mix those two. I think it just defeats the purpose of both companies representing their individual unique capabilities and solutions. So we definitely want to keep them separate. I think there's synergies definitely that goes along between the two companies, but AERGO is a company of its own. So we have both, and if you look at a lot of the solutions that Blocko builds on top of AERGO, AERGO logo is there. For example, Pickle, when you first launch the hero screen, actually has AERGO logo on the bottom.
Okay, that's good. That's awesome. So in that respect, I want to actually ask about this. A community member was asking about this as well. I think it's good to hear about the DTT update. How's it going? And how does DTT pay for transactions? How many members are using AERGO, and is it only for timestamping? And what are some new ideas for DTT, and how do you pay for transactions?
Well, I mean, DTT itself is, if for those who are just getting onto AERGO's information, it stands for decentralized trusted timestamping, right? So the whole purpose of it is to make sure that documents are authentic, certified, timestamped on the AERGO blockchain, and the way that the 20 corporate members that are on the DTT Alliance, the way that we're looking at for paying it is a little bit different than what we usually think of in the blockchain world, right?
Right.
In the corporate world, it's really tough for them to go on an exchange, purchase tokens, and then pay for it. It's more of purchase orders, invoices, and things of that nature. So we're looking, we're creating a separate, a different process to make sure that the enterprises, because the Alliance members don't have to change how they do business today in order to leverage what we have on the DTT Alliance. The things that are new is, Blocko recently became authorized DocuSign reseller here in Korea.
Awesome.
And we're looking to see whether we can have DocuSign join the alliance and somehow integrate timestamping into DocuSign solution. In Korea, it's a little bit different than how we authenticate people here versus how people are authenticated in the US or outside of Korea. So I think utilizing DTT Alliance's AERGO Mainnet as a means of recording and certifying, that'll, I guess, bolster DocuSign's solution. So we're looking into those things, and we're actively speaking with DocuSign right now in order to see whether we could tie the two together.
Awesome. I'm sorry. Go on.
I'd like to add one or two things about the whole concept of timestamping as well. I mean, people think of timestamping and just imagine that is something, just giving some date and time to some documents or stuff. But the whole purpose of the timestamping and DTT network is to come up with a decentralized way for the notarization process. So in a way, it's a decentralized witness network, and based on that, you can actually come up with the more exciting stuff. Like, for example, in order to mint NFTs or create STO or any kind of tokenized business model, you need a way for witnesses and their whole notarization concept to come into play together. And their DTT is a way to enable and help those participants. And their timestamping is just, in a way, a small tool in their process, and their it's not meant to end there. So so you can think of the DTT network as a stepping stone and a way to go forward.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. So this is a question I'd like to ask as well regarding the AERGO Gem that a lot of community members are asking about. So is the AERGO, I guess I shouldn't word it like this, but this is how the community asked, is the AERGO Gem alive, and can you share one or two companies and the real usage of the token? And what is the benefit for the company and customer? And where is the traffic on the AERGO chain? Is it on the private or public side of AERGO?
So the whole AERGO Gem concept was our play into launching a stable coin on the AERGO platform. And originally, we started the project with a partner called MNJ, a blockchain company geared toward the gaming market. But we are reviving and pivoting the technology toward more payment area, and Bloco is working hard on building and making their vision for it at the moment. We're actually calling it a Gem Pay at the moment, and you'll be able to hear more about it in coming days. We are working on a number of articles, and there'll be more public information available about it as well.
Yeah, and I encourage people to go on the AERGO website, aergo.io, and go to the blog section. And Corey, you've recently translated a few documents there that specifically talks about GemPay.
Absolutely, and I'll be continuing to do that for all of the new projects. I mean, I'm sorry, not projects, the new articles about GemPay that are launching for our English-speaking audience, so that they can be familiarized with the intricacies of GemPay. So that's coming as well. So if you have any questions about that, you can also, like Jay said, go on AERGO.io, check out the blog, and there'll just be an assortment of articles coming. So that for the audience, don't worry about that. So this is a very important question. I think is also something that is something I see in a lot of different platforms that I think the community sees and wants to see with AERGO. And I think that we have, good news about this. And are there other DApp incubations planned in the near future?
Yeah, I mean, we are always on the lookout for new dApps that are coming and applying to us. I think we announced that we wanted to do a $10 million fund on, dApp incubation earlier on. So that's still in works, and we're following up with all the other dApps that we have, incubated, like Crispy Whales. CCCV is one big one, and they've continued to amaze us with, new partnerships, new NFTs. They recently had a offline gallery opening with one of the biggest broadcasters here in Korea. So yeah, I mean, it's ongoing. There's, I encourage people who are watching this, and if you have a great DApp idea and you're a developer shop that you want us to incubate, please send us a message and we'll evaluate. Thank you.
Absolutely. So is there any hope on AERGO enterprise users coming to Mainnet or new Bloco clients utilizing the Mainnet?
There's always, I don't think right now, we don't go into customers today and say, hey, use AERGO Mainnet. We go into customers trying to solve a problem that they have, right? And we apply Mainnet where it's appropriate, right? I think the way that the blockchain industry has transformed was from, in the early stage, blockchain was like a very loud noise where everything should be blockchain and blockchain this and blockchain that. And that, in essence, I think complicated a lot of the stories. And, a lot of enterprises did not adopt public mainnets for that reason, that it was too complicated, or the security concerns and so forth. So now we are out there entertaining customers with solutions that meet their needs, and then apply mainnet where there's necessary. Or and one of the examples that we're really excited about is not waiting for our customers to adopt, but rather create solutions that our customers can use that leverage the mainnet, like Pickle, like voting. Right. Those go straight to the mainnet. Like CCCV, their NFT that goes straight to the mainnet. GemPay, that's straight to the mainnet. And these are, we're looking at this as, you can look at them as B2C, but we are also looking to sell them as a managed platform. So it's kind of a B2B2C, right? So, right. We're creating solutions that leverage the mainnet instead of waiting for our customers to, put their stuff on the mainnet, right?
Absolutely. And I know that the team is hard at work with different intricate components of the AERGO project. Now, there's a question that I saw that I wanted to ask as well. is the team is working on updating AERGO Scan, so you can soon find them there. What did Paul mean by this?
So since their inception of our mainnet and their utilities like AERGO Scan, there has been introduction of new features such as NFTs and other business models as well. We're actually working on enhancing those existing utilities and infrastructure to better meet their current requirements, and that includes NFTs and other various tokens like the Gem Pay as well. There will be UX, user experience improvements as well, and those will be rolled out in increments. So yeah, just keep watching out for those new features.
Okay, cool. So speaking of, I know Jay brought up CCCV before. Does CCCV intend to create categories of NFTs within the platform? Examples being such as art, music, and others.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's happening organically, right? A lot of the partnerships that they've signed early on were art, paintings, anything that has, or even TV shows that they did with NBC. So those are being categorized organically within that. And it's more like, if you look at OpenSea, it's project by project. They don't mix the projects together and then, try to do something that's vast and big, right? So I think, it's naturally being organized by various partnership projects. And within that, I think it's being further organized into, categories of either social, art, and so forth. So, I encourage everyone to take a look at CCTV and see that the work that's been changing. So the marketplace have evolved a few times, and I think it will continue to evolve.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. So we are talking about the topic of dApps. We're talking about the growth of dApps on the AERGO platform. Are dApps on AERGO developed in SQL? And for the audience who may not know about the intricate components of AERGO, what is SQL and what are the advantages per se?
So SQL is mainly born out of the whole enterprise data management requirements, and as a result, the AERGO SQL is mainly used in enterprise environment at the moment. And there, it has to do with the fact that there are most of their enterprise development deals with their so-called RDBMS, relational databases, and those rely heavily on SQL. And the fact that the AERGO supports SQL helps those developers who need to build upon or connect with their existing legacy infrastructure. At the moment, it is most beneficial for enterprise environment and the private blockchain. But we intend to extend this technology further in the future into our mainnet and there are more dApp developers as well. It's something that is not. I mean, it is not something that can be done easily. It requires more research and their expansion in terms of our mainnet capability as well. But it's just something that's going to come definitely in the future.
Of course. So it's important to discuss with the community because cryptocurrency. It seems like there's a different chain or a different project being launched on a daily basis. And it's important to discuss with the community the tactics and strategies of a specific project to garner new viewers, developers, investors, and so on and so forth. So what strategies are being used to attract developers to build on AERGO?
So we are working on creating a community and there are tools to enable those as well. We just launched a new Slack for open source developers to discuss and exchange information. And at the same time, we are working on a reward program for developers to incentivize those who contribute and come up with their new ideas. So in the past, the Blocker was the bulk of work driving the development behind the AERGO. In the future, and of course in the present, it's more and more turning into a full-scale open source project, and we hope we expand their community further, and we invite some of you with their development capabilities to hop in as well.
Awesome. So my last question is, we've heard this buzzword before, we've heard this term, and I feel like it's still an ongoing trend in the blockchain space, and I think it's important to bring it up regarding AERGO. And my last question to both of you is, what do you think about Web 3.0?
Go ahead, one.
Where the whole Web 3.0 concept started as a buzzword in the with the introduction of Ethereum and others, but in last few years, it steadily became a very real thing that we build upon. Things like money Lego, DeFi, and the whole revitalization of the crypto last year relied heavily upon those interlocking components and working together. And we believe that the future of web and the blockchain platform technology working together has to do with those kind of concepts, things like money Lego, enabling different projects and the protocols to work together. And we believe AERGO is an excellent technology in such a world, and that's why we are seeing huge advances and achievements in their NFT area, and their ongoing DeFi effort as well, and yeah, that's the future we believed in, and we think that is becoming a reality at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as far as NFTs are concerned, we've been watching a lot of other projects, the successes, the failures, and just a hint, I think we will be in that game, but we're going to do it in a way that it actually brings value to our community and the NFT holders, not just for the sake of having a very, very expensive JPEG, right? So we'll see. Once it comes out, I'm pretty excited that we'll announce it once we have something ready.
Awesome. So this concludes our third AMA. We're definitely going to have a fourth one, I'm thinking, by the end of this month. Do you have any closing thoughts that you want to say before we conclude?
I'm just thankful for the community, as always, for supporting us. I know that, in the last few months, we've all been sort of on the edge of our seats watching Bitcoin, Big Daddy do its thing. But I'm optimistic that, the rest of 2022 will have a brighter crypto future. And as far as AERGO is concerned, we're heads down and working, on our project. Not getting distracted, and we've always been steady. We haven't really been a volatile project, so I think we're lucky that way, and we're always thankful for the community for supporting us and to keep an eye on us.
Absolutely, and I will be assisting with translating articles for people, so don't worry about that, and we will be doing more AMAs as well.
Yeah, one.
Yeah, thank you guys for the continued support, and I think it's just really incredible how we managed to expand and build the community around us, and I think it's the quality and the quantity of the community that we have is amazing, and there are I hope for more continued support from you guys. So I'm very grateful, and thank you.
Absolutely. I can't thank you both for your time, and we're definitely going to be doing these more often. So I'm looking forward to the increased transparency and the increased communication between us and therefore the community. So I can't thank you both for your time today.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.